Welcome to Camila Duo Yoga. I am Camila, and this is a feel good flow. So this flow is meant to feel good, and we're going to, well, as the name says, funky up our flow. So what I want us to keep in mind today is that this sequence is meant to be funky, fun, playful, both mentally and physically. We're going to take classical asana, traditional yoga poses, and kind of give them a twist, both to keep our mind fresh and kind of not go into this automated place where we know what's coming, and just kind of give it a twist and funky up our life a little. So I hope you enjoy. We're going to start in Sukhasana, and shins cross around the midline of the shin, feet are flexed. Taking our hands over our knees. We're going to take just a second to close our eyes and bring our awareness to our breath. Noticing if there's anywhere in the body or mind where we feel tension, and taking the breath and giving that area space. Consciously taking our breath and creating space where we need it. Whenever you're ready, blinking your eyes open, we're going to begin making big circles with our shoulders. Feel free to do it as it feels right for you, maybe a little slower. Really becoming aware if you have any tension that you're carrying in this very common place to carry tension. And now the other way. And now bringing our shoulders up to our ears and relaxing them down. We're going to make half circles with our head. So we're going to take our ear towards our shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, from one side to the other. Again, if there's any specific place that feels a little stickier, feel free to stay there a little longer, or just do it at your own pace. Remember, this is your practice. It's only for you. And we'll come back through center. Inhaling, arms up. We're going to twist over to the right. Just a gentle twist, grabbing the right knee with the left hand. Maybe looking over the right shoulder. Remember to lengthen through the crown of the head. And maybe, if it's available, we look over the right shoulder behind us. And coming back through center. And placing both hands behind us. We're going to roll our shoulders back. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Maybe looking up. Pushing with the hands to lift the chest a little more. And coming back through center, folding over. Remember, keeping our sits bones grounded as we reach the hands forward. And walking your hands back in, lengthening the right leg out to the side. The left foot coming inside of the right thigh. Without jamming the heel in, we just want it inside and the knee relaxed. We're going to shift the torso towards the right leg and walk our hands along the leg, reaching towards the foot, without rounding the upper back. Finding length through the crown of the head. If you reach the foot, that's fine, but that's not the main idea. And from wherever you are, we're going to leave the right hand either on the big toe or on the shin and open the chest up towards the left, reaching the left arm forward. Coming back through center, placing the left hand behind the left sits bone. We're going to reach your right arm forward and behind us, pushing the hips forward, coming onto the shin, opening the heart, opening the chest, pushing the hips forward and up, and coming back through center. Once again, coming through Sukhasana, but this time we're going to switch legs. The leg that was in front goes behind. If you don't remember, it's usually going to be the side that feels a little awkward because it's our non-dominant side. And just as we started, we're going to do a couple neck release stretches. We're going to grab the left side of the head with the right hand, pulling the ear towards the shoulder, just gently with the same weight of the arm, releasing the whole left side of the neck. And grabbing behind the head, pulling the chin in at a diagonal in towards the right side of the chest. Releasing the head, coming back through center, other side, grabbing the right side of the head with the left hand. And shifting, grabbing the back of the head, pulling the chin in towards the left side of the chest. And coming back through center. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, twist over to the left, grabbing the left knee with the right hand, twisting gently. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, maybe twisting a little deeper. Feeling the grounding through the sits bones. And coming back through center. Placing the hands behind you, rolling the shoulders back, looking up, lifting the heart, opening, broadening the collarbones. Coming back through center, walking your hands forward, folding over your legs. Sits bones reach down towards the mat as the hands reach forward. And walking your hands back in, this time lengthening the left leg out for Janu Shirshasana. Shifting the torso over to the left leg, folding over, walking your hands over towards the foot. Crown of the head lengthens forward. And keeping the left hand either on the shin if it reaches or the big toe, opening the chest up towards the ceiling, reaching the right hand forward. Coming back through center, placing the right hand behind the right sits bones, reaching the left arm behind you, pressing the sits bones forward. Inhale. And release everything down towards the mat. This time we're going to open our legs to a wide angle, seated pose. And we're going to walk our hands forward, making sure that all toes remain looking up so they don't pigeon toe in or open up out behind us. Pushing through the heels, feet are flexed, and we lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, and coming all the way back up. Bringing the bottoms of our feet together, Baddha Konasana. Again, playing around with if either the heels are coming closer in or closer out. It stretches different parts for some of us. Depending on our bodies, one feels a little better than the other. So feel free to do your own version as you fold forward, keeping a long spine. And wherever you are, coming back up, keeping the right leg bent. You're just going to bring the knee in front of the pelvis, in front of the belly button. And the left foot's going to come outside of the right thigh. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, you're going to place both hands outside of the left leg onto the left side of the mat. We're going to bend the elbows and just bow down briefly. Coming back up into the twist. So bending the elbow, pushing the elbow against the left thigh as maybe you look behind you. And coming back through center, other side, placing the left leg onto the mat, placing the right foot outside of the left thigh. Inhale, arms up, placing both hands onto the right side of the mat, bowing down just briefly. Coming back up into your twist, bending the elbow, pushing the elbow slightly against the thigh to find length through the crown of the head and twist a little deeper. And come back through center. Unraveling the legs, we're going to meet in tabletop position. Hands are shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart. Coming through your rounds of cat-cows. Feel free to do it your own version of what feels right for you today. But begin to align movement with breath. Feeling as the breath guides the movement. And if you're doing just cat-cows, maybe now you'll move from side to side, taking the elbow to the same hip, elbow to the same hip, alternating sides. So we begin to bring all the different movements to the spine. And we'll meet in a neutral tabletop position. We're going to come into a extended puppy pose or heart melting pose. We're going to walk our hands forward, letting the heart melt onto the ground. If this feels very deep, feel free to walk your hands even farther out so you make the angle in the back a little smaller. If you are very bendy in your chest and shoulders, then you can keep your hips over your knees. Feel free to stay here, or you can lengthen the right leg out to the right side. There's a lot going on. Try not to resist it. Try to be present with it and have fun with it. If it doesn't feel nice, then go back to where you were. Walking your hands in, keeping the right leg extended. Hands into tabletop. We're going to lengthen the torso up towards the ceiling. I'm going to shift this way so you guys can see me. You're going to walk the right hand along the right leg, lengthening the left arm towards the right foot. Maybe looking up. And come back through center, planting the left hand in the same line as the knee. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. Pushing your hips forward, making sure you're not dipping into them. You're going to lift the right leg up. Feel free to stay here, or you can bend the leg, grabbing the back foot, and push the foot against the hand, opening the shoulder, opening the quad. And same way as you came into it, release. Lengthen the right arm up, right leg back, and come back up through center. Coming into your tabletop position. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, opening and twisting towards the right. Left hip crease reaches back. And you're going to thread the right arm under the left, placing the back of the right shoulder onto the mat. Relaxing the side of the head. Again, feel free to stay here or feel free to lengthen the left leg out to the side. Same thing as you did in the same way. So the leg is in the same line as the hip. And release here, feeling the opening in the back of the right shoulder. And come back through center, pushing yourself back through tabletop. Other side. So we're going to walk our hands back into heart melting or puppy pose. If you extended your leg on the other side, you'll do so on this side. Lengthening the left leg out this time. Observe what's going on. Get curious. Have fun with it. Try it, and if it doesn't feel nice, then don't do it. Keeping your leg extended, if it's extended, walking your hands into tabletop position, lengthen the torso up. Again, feel free to do it at your own pace. If you didn't have your leg extended, extend it now. Walking the left hand along the left leg, reaching the right arm towards the left side, lengthening the right side of the body. And come back through center, planting the hand onto the mat, lengthening the left arm up, lifting the leg up towards, so at the same height as the hip. Bending the knee, looking for the foot behind you as you push the foot against the hand, opening the chest, the quad, the front of the hip. And release the foot, slowly lengthening it out, coming back from where you came from. Once again, meeting in tabletop position. This time reaching the left arm up towards the ceiling, twisting open towards the left, and threading the left arm under the right, placing the back of the left shoulder onto the mat, the side of the head. And if you lengthen the leg on the other side, you'll lengthen the right leg out this time. Slowly pushing yourself back through center, tabletop position, lengthening one leg at a time back, coming into plank pose, holding here for 5 breaths, beginning to create heat through the body so we can really open and lengthen the body. And shifting the hips up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. Take a minute or so in your down dog to play around with whatever feels nice here. So either bending the knees or maybe coming from side to side, opening the hips, whatever you feel like doing before we settle in your down dog. Last couple of seconds, and whenever you're ready, settle into your steady and into your still down dog. From Adho Mukha, down dog, shift forward back into plank pose. Everyone's going to place our knees onto the mat. We're going to place our chest between our hands, opening the chest, the heart, and sliding through baby cobra. Elbows are by your side, shoulders rolling back, and release down. Opening your arms towards the corner of the mat. Feel free to adjust as feels nice, and lift the heart up into super cobra. So you can stay here, or you can make it dynamic, bending one elbow, looking over the right shoulder, or the other. Feel free to explore. And we'll all meet through center, forehead back onto the mat, placing the hands next to our chest, pushing yourself back, child's pose. Active child's pose, hands push against the mat, forearms lift, placing your toes onto the mat. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Separating your feet wider than hip width, walking your hands back, dropping the hips down, Malasana, yogi squat. If your heels don't come down onto the mat, you can either place a block under your tush or a towel under your heels to support. If not, if you don't have any accessible, just stay on your tiptoes. Finding length through the crown of the head. Pushing the hips towards, the knees out to the sides to open the hips. And slowly releasing the hands down onto the ground, shifting the hips up, coming into ragdoll. Maybe we're open enough to lengthen our legs. If not, keep them bent and sway from side to side, releasing any tension that we have through the crown of the head. Making sure we're relaxing the sides of the neck, the head. And come back through center, releasing the elbows. We're going to come one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing. Really one vertebrae at a time, taking your time. Rounding the back. The last thing that comes up is the head, shoulders roll back, and we're going to walk towards the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. On the exhale, fold forward, strong, long back. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, fold forward and take the left foot back. Usually it's a little further back than you'd think. The right knee remains over the ankle, placing the back knee down, the back of the foot, lift the torso up. Tailbone draws down, finding length in the low back, placing the right hand onto the right hip. If you're very bendy, you can try placing it on the ground, lengthening the left side of the body, reaching the left arm towards the side. And come back through center, lowering your hands down next to the foot, half splits, lengthening the right leg, keeping the left hip over the left knee, so you're not shifted either forward or back. Heart lengthens forward, reaches forward. And bending the front leg, walking the hands back to the front, next to the right foot, placing the back toes down, lifting the back knee. We're going to come directly into a down dog with a figure 4 legs. So the right ankle is going to come over the left thigh. The right knee draws back. Shouldn't feel tension on the knee. You should feel the opening in the hip. The left leg can bend so you can go a little deeper. And once again, you're going to bring the right knee back into the nose, placing the foot back between your hands. Placing the back knee down, the back of the foot, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Bending the back leg, you're going to reach for the back foot behind you. If you don't reach and you don't have a strap, just lift the torso and try looking for it this way. It's usually a little bit more accessible. If not, keep the twist, grabbing the back foot. Maybe looking behind you. The right knee stays centered. It's not splurging out to the side. And release, placing the toes onto the ground, lengthening the right arm up, keeping the twist, lift the back knee. From here, we're gonna lengthen the right leg as much as we can. If we don't have a block and we can't lengthen it that much, that's fine. We're gonna just try to lengthen it as much, opening the back of the right leg, keeping the twist, drawing the right hip back. And bend, one more time. Lengthening the right leg. And bend, placing the right hand back down, taking the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Other side, inhale, arms up. On the exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over, lengthening the right leg back this time, keeping the left foot between your hands. Lowering the back knee, the back of the foot. Lift the torso up. Long arms. Tailbone lengthens down so we're not crunching the low back. Hips are shifting forward slightly so you feel that opening in the front of the right hip. And now taking the left hand onto the left hip, reaching the right arm to the left side, maybe placing the hand down. If you have a block, you can place a hand on a block. And coming back through center. Placing the hands back onto the mat, lengthening the left leg half splits. Flexing the left foot so you're lengthening the back of the left leg a little deeper. And bend the front leg once again, walking the hands back towards next to the foot, placing the back foot down, lifting the back knee. We're going to step into our figure 4 down dog. Opening that left hip, left knee reaches back, bending the standing leg to go a little deeper. Maybe even pushing the heart back. And taking the left foot back between our hands. Low lunge, placing the back knee onto the mat, the back of the foot, taking your version of grabbing the back foot. So either this way or by lifting the torso up, grabbing it with both hands. Whatever version you did on one side, you do on the other. Keeping the left knee in line with the left foot. And letting go of the foot. Keeping the twist, placing the back toes down, lifting the back knee. Keeping the twist, lengthen the left leg. Hold. And bend. One more time, lengthen the left leg, keeping the twist. It's okay if you can't bend, if you can't lengthen too much. And bend once again, placing the left hand down, stepping the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. So hopefully we're a little more open now. We're going to do a couple Surya Namaskar A's. Feel free to do them at your own pace, and we'll continue from there. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands next to the feet. Step or hop back, plank or chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. And whenever you're ready, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Step or hop back through your flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Three rounds of breath in down dog. Returning to that breath that we started in the beginning of class. Feeling that grounding of the breath, the space. And on the next exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Step or float back through your vinyasa. Up dog, strong legs, knees lift. Downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths here. And bend your knees, look forward, step or hop towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in front of the heart.